Good morning! Happy Thursday, September 13th. My iPad does not like me today. This is the TED Show. Welcome to the TED Show with my friend, Kyle Johnson from Lighthouse Central Florida and Lighthouse Works. Let us know you can hear us or see us. Give us a thumbs up. We're going to try to make sure that we get through this since we're only at 10%. I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah, we may get 10% of the interview.
We make. I want all of the interview. No, it can't go. It might go out, and then we'll just talk to our Up Live family, and we'll finish it out. All right. So Kyle, thank you. We got thumbs up. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
We've been trying to get together for a while. Hey, Hap. And that has not really progressed very well because of my schedule, which is terrible. I'm thinking of a way to maybe make this charge. But Kyle, how did we meet? Did you reach out to me? We have mutual friends.
We do. Yeah, we have mutual friends, and I think...
and I'm going to get up for a second.
Go ahead. I think that I think I reached out to you to thank you for doing the TED Show because you
did,
you were
right?
shining a positive light in a lot of areas in our community, and anybody who's doing that, I want to know.
Well, so listen, guys, if we go dead, I don't know what happened to my iPad. Perhaps Ted did not turn it off last night, and it's crazy. We might have to pop back on my laptop. But I loved it because a lot of times people reach out to me, and I know that we all kind of know each other in the community, and it's kind of a tight community. I always talk about how awesome Orlando is and Central Florida is. But it was so awesome for you to randomly reach out to me. And then come to find out, you work with Lee Nasahi, who hired me, gave me my first... what I would consider my first real job in my major master's area at HRS back in the day with the Alcohol, Drug Abuse, and Mental Health Division. No words from the peanut gallery on that one. I actually worked there for a long time, 5 years I was there. But she was really cool, always an amazing boss to have, very forward-thinking, especially back then.
She still is.
She still is, and so she's an awesome person. So again, what a small world that I get to hang out with you, and I get to talk to you today. So who is Ted, and why is he in your house at night? Wow. John Wild. I don't know where you're coming from, but you're going to have to tell us.
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued, too. Love me some Kyle Johnson, Steve Placey says. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Steve?
He's such a good guy.
Rock your business.
Rock your business. I've had him on the show. He was a great guest.
I watched it.
I like to listen to people who have a lot to say. I like to learn. I'm always learning something, which is kind of the point of the show, is to give, hey Christine, to give you guys, look, I'm going to see you this afternoon, to give the community, you guys don't always get out. People don't always know about the amazing work. We were talking about that earlier, that people like you do, like Lighthouse does, like Steve Placey does. There's so many wonderful people in our community that we're in this tight circle, but I want everybody to know about them. So that's kind of the point of the TED Show. It's really not all about TED, contrary to popular belief.
Well, that's why I reached out.
I know that was
that disposition.
That was very cool of you, and I appreciate that, and I like that. And now what happens is that's because of the TED Show. I'm getting a lot of that. I'm learning about things from people I didn't even know were doing things.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I'm pulling up Facebook to make sure we don't lose Kyle. Will you please give us, he did not, thank you, John. John's trying to explain it. John, we're going to address that later with you. John Wild, That Damn Radio Show. He's awesome. Great friend of the show. So give us a little background on you while I'm pulling up Facebook, because I find it's always important for people to kind of know where you're coming from, what your point of view was, kind of your why, and how you got to where you're at. And then we always joke that if you start with I was born and we're still at first grade in the first 25 minutes, I need you to rethink how you're going.
Yeah, it'd be a good substitute for ambience.
It would not. You have a great story.
Well, Lee Nasahi actually gave me my first real job.
Did she really?
Well, I mean, I was in the wealth management field, and where I worked with Susanna Kay, who's coming on this show at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
And where I met Steve Placey. So I was there and had a great job, and but I was miserable. I had a great family, great community, reliable vehicle. You know, the whole story.
How'd you get there? Like, what did you grow up wanting to be? What did you want?
I didn't know, man. I didn't know. No, I moved around a lot as a child, all in Central Florida. I went to 4 elementary schools and 3 middle schools. we were just single mom grinding. You know, my mom was a gangster. You know, she worked really hard, never short on love, but we were short on a lot of stuff. And you know, so I banged around a lot. I mean, I did some things growing up that, thank God, we grow up.
Well, thank God I don't know how old you are. You're a baby, if I remember.
41 on October 8th.
Oh, God, we're both... I'm 40. Well, you probably know because you got an invite to a crazy party I have going on.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be 41 on October 4th.
Nice.
I am nowhere near 41.
On October 4th?
I'm an October 4th baby.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so what do they call that? Libras? So
I think.
Yeah, I get
pay
confused by all that. No, I don't pay any attention.
Evidently, you could be a soothsayer if you...
Is that what we are? I feel like I'm
read the horoscope, you know the future. You didn't know that?
No, apparently not, and I'm not so good at what I'm supposed to know. I don't know the future of anything right now. So you've moved around a lot. Do you think that made an impact on who you are? And
for sure. I think that you either kind of close in on yourself, or you and become very introvert and insulated. Because let me tell you, being the new guy every year of middle school is a treat.
Is it so?
Especially middle school. You know, it's like Lord of the Flies.
I feel like when I moved it was kind of a cool start, like a new beginning.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean that it wasn't difficult transition. It kind of helped. I feel like it helped me learn how to meet new people in a positive way.
Yeah,
it was good training. It was good training.
Yeah,
it wasn't always easy, but it was good training.
Yeah, and I was in, you know, some economically not so great areas, and so again, I think it either makes you kind of shut down and insulate, or open up and become pliable and become improvisational. You know, you certainly learn a lot about conflict resolution.
You do, right?
And building
and you
relationships.
Yes.
Very quickly. You know, I think that has been something that has, as you and I are testament to. You
Absolutely.
know, it enables you to be able to connect with people. Obviously, I think you have to be authentic and sincere.
So
but
did you grow up that
you.
way? Were you always an authentic and sincere? People ask me, were you always like this? And my answer is, I think I was. It's just you get older and you figure out how to maneuver in the world that you're in. But I feel like I was always like this. God bless America. I don't know how anybody puts up with it. But do you feel like you were always that authentic person, able to share your feelings, able to put stuff out into the world, or did you have to learn?
I think I would hedge. I mean, you know, it's tough to say for myself, especially like 6th grade Kyle. That's problematic. You know, I remember I was a little skater rat, and I would, with my friends, I lived in Maitland at the time, 5th and 6th grade, and we would jump on the train. If it was a slow-moving freight train going north, we would jump on it and ride it to Altamont Springs.
Wow,
go to the mall.
5th and 6th grade? You were one of those kids.
Yeah, 1st or 2nd grade, I remember crossing Howe Branch Road by myself and boosting G.I. Joes at Eckert's. So, thank God we grow up, right? And hustling, I would knock on doors across the apartment complex and ask to take their garbage out for a quarter or 50 cents or whatever. It's a different time.
So you always hustled, though. Did you have that? That was just something you enjoyed doing? And I'm sure that's helped. We're going to talk about what you do now, but when you get in the nonprofit world, people don't like that word hustle, but I think that's what you have to do in the nonprofit world.
Yeah, I think hustle rather than being a noun is that I'm talking about as a verb. You know, you gotta grind, and you have to make your way. And certainly in the independent sector and the nonprofit sector, you know, it's not like, you know, because I've been in sales in the private sector.
Absolutely.
And I spend most of my career in the private sector, and you know, in the private sector, when you're selling something tangible or a service that you're going to receive and benefit from. In the nonprofit sector, you're selling a promise. You know, you're selling a vision, and to that degree that you can convey back and report back and communicate how that donor's money is impacting the world. There's no buyer's remorse, right? And you can build strong relationships, and in some ways, the bonds that you create by having somebody buy your vision and your promise, and then reporting back and affirming that purchase to them, and showing them what they did, it creates a very special connection and a very special bond. Too often I hear nonprofits say like, "Hey, thank you for helping nonprofit X." You know, thank you for helping nonprofit X, and when I hear that, if somebody in our organizations, wait, it's not about us.
Right.
We're the glove through which the community puts its hand to do that work. They're trusting us to do it. Very similar to what we did in wealth management. And it's our job to report back to that donor. And it's our job to grab that donor and go like, look what you did.
Correct.
Because I'm a donor. I'm sure you guys are donors.
Yes.
Whether it's feeding the hungry or putting shelter over someone or enriching our culture and our community through the arts or, the list goes on and on. It's us. We did that.
Right.
Now, we just entrusted the execution of that to the organization we donated to. But without the donor community, or at Lighthouse Works, we're a social enterprise company, without Disney, giving us an opportunity to bid on a contract, so that we could create employment for people who are blind and generate revenue to support Lighthouse Central Florida, who's going to help that next blind baby in our community. Without Disney or the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, for whom we do call center work, without them being willing to do that and give our blind workforce a shot, we're spinning our wheels.
Do you think that the donor, and I want to spend a lot of time talking about like
I'm getting closer, so Ted doesn't feel like his head.
My head is ginormous. What is happening today? I don't know what's going on.
We were talking about that because I don't know. I might get you on the head size.
No, I don't know the 5. I've got the 5 head, brother.
Yeah, I got the 4 head.
I get the 4.5 head.
Forever.
The 4. So what do you think the challenges are in the nonprofit world right now? So you're an advocate. We said we were going to talk about advocacy, which you just covered very well. I love that. I think people are so inundated with so many different choices on what to get involved with, who to get involved with. Now, you just don't go to functions. You've got GoFundMe pages and then personal pages and then all of these different platforms that people, and I feel like it's very difficult to maneuver through it.
Yeah.
So how do you reach a donor best? And what can you tell a donor out there that says, all right, I know you need cash, but I don't have a lot, but I have time or I have resources?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of competing voices because there's a lot of need, and in so many ways, if you look at the United States in particular, where you're probably going to find the strongest philanthropy, right, in a lot of countries to give of my resources to somebody else in order for some mission is absurd, and so that's a blessing of our, thank God in the capitalistic, private sector driven country that we live in, that we're blessed to live in. Thank God there's this, you have the public sector and you have the private sector, and the nonprofit sector are like the ligaments, tendons, and cartilage,
Right.
If you were to pull the nonprofit or the independent sector out of our community, it'd be bone on bone, it'd be pain, and that would be a promise. So I think that there's so many competing voices, as a donor myself, what I take into consideration is what's valuable to me, just like in wealth management, right? In wealth management, clients came to us and they said, I'm retiring or I sold my company and I have all these assets and I know I need to protect it and grow it in the stock market, and I don't understand the stock market. I don't understand it. But you do. And I trust you.
Right.
So I'm going to give you this money. You go achieve the objective I want you to in the market and report back to me how my money's doing, right? Be honest, be transparent. Well, in the nonprofit, because I'm saying this because so many people said, like, wealth management to the nonprofit world, whoa, what a jump and all this. Well, sort of, but really, in the nonprofit sector, guess what people do? Like, I have donors in mind right now who say, I really care that a blind baby grows up through the age of 5, hitting all the milestones that I hit, and they're going to be an independent, integrated, employable adult who's going to contribute to our community and our economy, not rely on it.
Right.
So, but I don't know how to do that. But Lighthouse, I know you do. So here's this money. Go achieve that objective for me because I care so much about it, and report back to me, communicate with me, be transparent and honest with me. So it's almost the exact same, right?
It is.
So as a donors, I would advise donors to what's your passion, what do you care about? And then the organizations, because there are over 4,000 nonprofits registered in this market.
That's crazy.
Well, but if you take out the ones who have never really hung a shingle, or you take out churches, it's even more dramatic. But you're well below 2,000 nonprofits who are actually doing work. But still, that's a lot in a market like Orlando. So if you understand your sweet spot, my sweet spot, my grandma died of breast cancer, and my grandma really did die of breast cancer. But say that's my passion. then I look at the organizations who can demonstrate measurable outcome.
Amen to that.
Right? They're demonstrating that, and they're doing a good job reporting back to you. Here's how your money's doing, and they're crediting you for accomplishing that, not themselves, but you.
Right.
That's where you look, right? Because there are a lot of organizations you're going to send a donation, and there it went, and you never hear a thing. You don't know what happened.
You never get I stopped doing that. I mean, it takes the problem is that we're such an immediate gratification kind of society. So if you send your money in, you immediately want to see what kid you fixed, what cause you fixed, what impact you had.
Well, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not faulting us, but then a lot of times on the other side, the nonprofits, because they don't have the manpower, because they don't have the wherewithal, you don't know. And so you really do have to pick one that is it hits your heart.
Yeah.
And then you have to do a little bit of research, just a little, people, just a teeny little bit.
I mean, we have the attention span of a sparrow.
We
fart,
do.
We
and
kind
there
of
you
do.
heard it right there on attention.
We kind of do. But it's on our nonprofit's job. It's our job.
I agree.
To make that easy for you. Right? That was easy. We need that from our nonprofits to be able to make it easy for you, Ted, who's very busy. Right, guys? Very busy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, we're playing right now.
Right,
so
we are
let's not
totally.
bullshit.
That's
anyway.
right.
But it's the nonprofit's job to make that easy for you, to validate. Look, we are who we say we are. Just like in wealth management, again, in the nonprofit sector, in the real estate market, mortgage business, one bad actor infects a lot of business.
That cancer comes in, and it's so difficult, and we have a lot of that. So I had heard about a group that worked with veterans, and that's a soft spot for me. I mean, everything's a soft spot for me. Why are veterans a soft spot? Yeah. I feel like they don't get the respect, and they don't get the benefits for having not sacrifice their lives, but put their lives on the line for our country. I feel like they could get a lot better treatment overall. So I love to do work with them. Yeah. Thank you for asking. That's why.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a veteran.
To know that.
My grandfather served, but I don't have a lot of people in my family. I just feel like they're underserved.
Yeah.
So
and they are.
This particular person was going around purporting to be 501c3. And so what's great in the veteran world, for example, is the watchdog groups. So I sent it to my friend, who I won't name because I need him to continue to be a watchdog. Yeah. And within about 5 minutes, he was like, fake, fake, fake.
Blew up
he
the
had
spot.
called the guy, he had gotten on him, and the guy stopped bothering me. But that's unfortunately what you have to do, because there is those bad apples that come in and cause the cancer. All right, let's talk about Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Because you've referenced it. Tell us what Lighthouse does, how it came into play. It's certainly different from the organization I remember a long time ago with Lee. You guys have really progressed so much. So tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, when I got there, I think we had 58 employees between Lighthouse Central Florida and Lighthouse Works. We had a 6-seat call center. We had 3 people in our supply chain division at Lighthouse Works, and I'll tell you what that means. But Lighthouse Central Florida is the core mission. It was established in 1976 as an open campus course at Valencia Community College. And they were called CITE, the CITE, the Center for Independence, Technology, and Education. You remember?
That's what I remember.
Man, I don't,
That's what I remember.
I mean,
Lee, that's what I remember.
So much older than me. So
God, I almost escaped that.
Just kidding.
Man, it's a tough
No, we're Libras. Aren't we supposed to stick together?
That's right. We have to stick together.
Yeah. So Lee Nassif, he has been our CEO for going on 20 years.
Amazing.
But she came with her son Joe, who's 34, 35, around that age. But he was born extremely premature. He'd fit in the palm of your hand. And look, in the late 70s, early 80s, 5%. In the late 70s, early 80s,
covered, brother.
Babies like that didn't live. So,
yeah.
But he did. He had cerebral palsy, some developmental delays, and he was blind. And so she came to Lighthouse as a mom that was scared. Her and her husband were not parents who were worried. What do we do? Like so many parents still do to this day. But Lighthouse Central Florida is if you're born blind or visually impaired. So it's low vision to no vision. So often people introduce me as like Kyle from Lighthouse from the Blind. Well, that tends to make some people think, well, mom doesn't need that. But mom has trouble dialing her phone. She's had some triple falls, right? So she qualifies for services, and so if you're born blind or visually impaired or become so in any stage of your life in Orange, Osceola, and Seminole County, and today there are roughly 50 to 80,000 people who would qualify for that. Lighthouse Central Florida is the only local nonprofit who provides comprehensive vision-specific rehabilitation, education, supported employment, technology training. If you've ever seen a person who's blind walk across a busy intersection with their white cane, Lighthouse teaches that skill. The issue is so many people don't find Lighthouse or another resource, and so they go blind, for instance, and then they aren't trained, and so they become block-locked, and really they sit in a dark apartment in a dirty t-shirt listening to daytime radio. And in my opinion, it's just mine, I'm a knucklehead. I've been wrong a lot in my life. That's my family. But they're essentially just waiting out life until death, you know, or a baby who's blind, who the parents do everything for them because they're trying to protect them, and they unintentionally prohibit them from learning through the gift of failure. And instead, when Lighthouse comes into the fold, we're holding parent back, saying, let them fall, let them fail. And every developmental milestone that baby hits through the age of 5, they're going, I did it, I did it, I did it. And that seed of I can is born as a child. And that child says, I'll go first, rather than I can't, I'm blind, you have to help me, right? So it's massive. The implications are huge on a personal level, you know, for that kid, for that mom and dad, for the siblings, for the peer network, for everything, but also, too, it's economics.
Right.
You know, if we can work with a baby and make them independent, lifelong learner by the age of 5 that says, I can do it, and they go into mainstream kindergarten in a classroom full of peers that are sighted, and grow up through college to say, I can, I can, I can, then they're going to be a leader in our community. They're going to, you know, be moms and dads and whoever they want to be, and they're going to contribute to our community and our economy rather than rely on it. So, you know, all the things that you did this morning, you know, to this point, all the things you did would have to be relearned, putting plugs in outlets, keys in locks, transportation.
I can't even imagine. I think what, like, I have a hard time when my contacts aren't in.
Yeah.
And so I know that I mean, I don't know.
I've not been trained, sir.
I've not been trained. Michelle Brady, of course, sends tons of love, and Nadia Quinton, and there's a whole bunch of people sending love. We've got 2 shows going on at once. And we love you guys for being patient. We are there and there, so you're good. We can look both places. Cool. But how did you, so you obviously have a lot of passion. Did that come from once you got involved with Lighthouse? Because I could listen to you talk about it. You're very passionate about it. Did it come from that, or did you just learn as you went in and you go, okay, well, I'm in, I'm going to roll up my sleeves?
No, I don't know that you learn passion. You know, I don't want to, I mean, what do I know? But to me, passion is an inside job, you know. And I'll be the first to admit I'm passionate to a fault. You know, I'm often way too intense.
I don't find you intense. I find you engaging. I think that you, because they can't see it, but I hope you can sort of see it. It's palpable, your energy, your love, your passion. I don't know how that can be a bad thing when you're using it for good.
Yeah, oh man, well, I'm not. I ain't mad at it. It definitely pays in spades when you're trying to compel people to care about something they otherwise don't know about, you know. And like I was telling in the beginning of this podcast, podcast.
That's all right. You didn't say radio, which a lot of people say it's radio. I love your radio show.
My blood sugar.
Your blood sugar.
But I was miserable, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. If I didn't find how to fix what was happening to me, despite all the blessings in my life, I'm pretty confident I'd be dead. And I'm not being dramatic, you know. It's just what it was. I mean, I was a ship without a rudder, and what this whole experience taught me, when Lee Nasahi, who got to know me through a seminar I gave for nonprofit leaders as a wealth management firm, we made friends, and she got to know me personally and professionally. I volunteered for a year on the Young Executives Committee. I was voluntold to do that. She, at a cocktail party, was like, he's going to help you.
Voluntold. Right. That should be a hashtag.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Hashtag voluntold.
Yeah, the pat on the back and you know it's coming.
But listen, it was a voluntold that saved my life.
Yeah.
and I'm being real. And so people, because I'm involved in a lot of different areas, president of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, and I'm on different boards like Ideas for Us, and I think